Since Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. Most Frigidaire induction range repairs will require some disassembly of the appliance. To fully disassemble and reassemble the range, you will need a Phillips head screwdriver, a 1/4-inch nut driver, a flathead screwdriver, and a T20 Torx bit. Before you begin the procedure, unplug the power cord or shut off the power supply. To uninstall the oven door, fully open the door, then use the flathead screwdriver to rotate the hinge locks forward. Partially close the door, then lift and pull the door toward you to remove. To access components behind the convection fan cover, first slide out the oven racks. Use the Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the 2 mounting screws to release the convection fan cover to reach the convection element and fan blade. To replace the element, use the 1/4-inch nut driver to unthread the 2 mounting screws, securing the element to the rear panel. Pull the element forward and disconnect the wires. Be careful not to let the wires slip back behind the panel. Install the new convection element by first connecting the wires to the terminals. Then position the element and thread and tighten the 2 mounting screws. Reinstall the fan cover by aligning it over the element and fan blade. Then thread the 2 mounting screws to secure. Replace the oven racks. To separate the inner door assembly from the outer door panel, first unthread the 2 mounting screws securing the door handle using the Phillips head screwdriver. With the screws unthreaded, set the handle aside. Next, unthread the 4 bottom screws securing the inner door panel assembly to the outer door panel. Separate the inner panel assembly from the outer panel. You can now replace a door hinge by unthreading the upper screws securing the hinge, as well as the 2 lower screws. With the screws unthreaded, you can fully remove the hinge. To access the air wash glass and inner door glass, you'll need to remove both door hinges first. Next, flip the inner panel assembly over and unthread the 2 screws securing one of the air wash glass mounting brackets. Set the bracket aside and you can remove the glass. If you need to replace the inner door glass, first unthread the 2 screws to release the other mounting bracket. Now unthread the 8 screws securing the retaining panel. Set the panel aside. If you're replacing the middle door glass, you can lift it out of the frame if still intact. Otherwise, lift out the glass and frame, and you can remove the inner door glass. Install the new glass by aligning it in the inner door panel. If required, reposition the frame and insert the middle door glass. To reassemble the oven door, first realign the retaining panel and secure it by rethreading all 8 screws. Realign one of the air wash glass brackets and secure it with the screws. Reposition the air wash glass in the bracket, then align the second bracket and secure it with the screws. Flip the inner door assembly over. Realign one of the door hinges. Then thread the 2 lower screws and the upper screw to secure the hinge. Repeat to reinstall the opposite hinge. With the hinges in place, realign the inner door assembly with the outer door panel. Rethread the 4 bottom screws. Make sure the top edge of the assembly is accessible. Then insert the door handle screws. Align the handle and thread the screws into the handle. Reinstall the oven door by inserting the door hinges into the hinge slots at a 45-degree angle. Lower the door to its fully open position, then rotate the hinge locks back. To access components at the back of the range, first have an assistant help you to move the appliance away from the wall. Use the 1/4-inch nut driver to unthread the 6 screws, securing the upper rear access panel. Remove the panel to reach the main control board. To access components behind the lower rear access panel, first unthread the lower screw securing the power cord retaining plate. Next, unthread the 5 mounting screws securing the lower panel itself. With the panel removed, you can access the convection fan motor, the door lock motor, and the oven relay board. To reach components located under the main top, open the oven door and use the Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the 3 screws, securing the main top. With the screws unthreaded, pull the main top forward to fully remove. If you need to replace an induction coil, note the hole locations where the old induction coil retaining clips are inserted into. Detach the coil and move it out of the way. If you're replacing a rear induction coil, you will need to detach the front coil as well to access the wires. Note the orientation of the wires, then use the T20 Torx bit to loosen the screws to release the induction coil power wires. Disconnect the sensor wire from the control module, and you can fully remove the old coil. To install the new induction coil, first connect the sensor wire to the control module. Next, slide the power wires under the appropriate screws, then tighten the screws to secure the wires. Now align the retaining clips with the appropriate holes in the brackets and snap the new coil assembly into position. Reinstall the main top by aligning the sides under the front support bracket. Then carefully slide the top back, pressing the induction coils down as you do this. With the top in place, thread the 3 screws in front to fully secure it. Reinstall the lower rear access panel by first inserting the power cord retaining plate. Then align the notches on the bottom of the access panel with the tabs and thread the 5 screws to secure. Rethread the lower screw to secure the power cord retaining plate to the access panel. Reinstall the upper rear access panel by sliding the tabs under the control panel. Then thread the center screw first to hold it in place. Replace the 5 additional screws to fully secure. With the reassembly complete, move the appliance back against the wall. Plug the power cord back in, or restore the power supply, and the induction range should be ready for use.